On Sunday, Indians across the country diligently followed PM Modi's nationwide call to switch off lights. Prominent political leaders, corporate tycoons, and the entire sports fraternity lit diyas and candles at 9 pm for 9 minutes to show solidarity towards India's fight against the coronavirus pandemic and to thank the healthcare professionals and others who are at the forefront of the fight against the dreaded virus. Some of them took to social media platforms to share photos and videos while lighting diyas and candles on Sunday evening.
While evolving various strategies to combat the virus, India's disinfectant tunnels installed at a few places seem promising. What is a disinfectant tunnel? It is a tunnel in which overhead sprayers sprinkle a disinfectant, which is a combination of water-soluble polymer and iodine. This considerably reduces the number of germs on an individual, costing approximately 90,000 rupees for each installation. It consumes 50 liters of the solution in 1 hour and can operate for 16 hours at a stretch. It has already been installed at the Telangana Director General of Police's office and at the Chest Disease Hospital in Srinagar. Across the world, in addition to existing the measures to combat the spread of coronavirus, new ones such as these disinfection tunnels are being tested and employed. It is now time for some international news.
With a worldwide shortage of hospital equipment such as ventilators and protective gear for medical workers, organizations, educational institutions, and individuals have been joining in to meet the demand. Companies from electronic firms to car makers have been shifting production to help make vital medical equipment and supplies for hospitals around the world. Elon Musk-led Tesla is building ventilators using car parts to help plug shortage amid the coronavirus pandemic. Apple, best known for phones and computers, said it would start making face shields for medical workers. Apple chief executive Tim Cook tweeted that Apple is now making the protective gear. They plan to make more than 1 million shields a week, which will be shipped first to the US and then distributed globally. Kudos to all those who have come together in support to fight this incorrigible enemy. Igraspers, the science news is coming up next.
Unusual times have unusual solutions, my friends. Robots wearing robes and hats with tablets attached to them attended graduation ceremony at BBT University in Tokyo, Japan. The setup was put in place to follow the social distancing norms amid the coronavirus pandemic. Isn't that truly outlandish?
Igraspers, did you know 90 million years ago, rainforests were found in the cold continent of Antarctica? The Earth's climate is constantly shifting. For example, during the Ice Age, scientists called our Earth a snowball Earth. With the increase in temperatures, it moved on to being called a hothouse. But recently, researchers from Germany found global temperatures to be high enough for a forest to have existed near the South Pole. These forest sediments were found in 2 glaciers, called the Pine Island and Tweens, in western Antarctica. The climate was such that it could be compared with rainforests of New Zealand. While there was no evidence of the types of animals that may have lived in these forests in Antarctica, it can be assumed there could have been many species living there at this time, possibly even dinosaurs.
Igraspers, I know that staying at home is not easy, but did you know that us staying at home has had many positive impacts on Mother Earth? Other than the reduction in air, noise and water pollution, social distancing has also helped reduce the seismic noise. Igraspers, seismic noise is the hum of vibrations in the Earth's crust, which is usually caused by human activities such as transportation and use of industrial machines. Due to this, seismologists People who record and study seismic activity state that they are able to better detect small earthquakes and volcanic activity in the Earth's crust.
Igraspers, I hope you looked out of your windows yesterday and saw the super pink moon. Now, what is a supermoon, you might wonder? Well, a supermoon is when the moon reaches its full moon stage and is closest to Earth. Thus, it's usually 7% bigger and 15% brighter compared to an average full moon. Don't be fooled by the name. The moon wasn't really humongous, and nor was it pink, as the super pink moon is actually named after Phlox subulata, a pink flower which blooms in bunches during the springtime in the east of North America. The last few supermoons have also had odd names, such as sprouting grass moon, the egg moon, the super worm moon, and the fish moon. However, the super pink moon is rumored to be the brightest and biggest full moon of the year, and it reached its peak brightness at around 8 p.m. in India.
Did you hear, Igraspers? There is an NBA tournament that has commenced. Now I know what you must be wondering. Isn't the NBA season suspended? Well, you are right. While the NBA season is still suspended, the basketball players have traded in their basketballs for game controllers. That's right, the players have been playing virtual basketball games against each other in the NBA 2020 digital tournament. This tournament has 16 players among, and the games are aired on ESPN and ESPN2. And you can also find clippings of their virtual game on YouTube. The players are playing for a prize of $100,000, which will be donated to a charity. Isn't that amazing?
Due to the quarantine, none of us have been able to get the amount of exercise that we should. But that didn't stop a few people from running marathons in their houses. Yes, you heard that right. People have been circling their balconies or kitchens or their beds thousands of times in order to run a marathon and remain active in these inactive times. A 32-year-old Frenchman named Elisha Nochomovitz ran a marathon in his balcony twice during this lockdown. A 13-year-old boy from Qatar ran his very first marathon by circling his living room numerous times. I invite you to remain active in these uncertain times. Leave a comment below and tell us how you try to remain healthy in these times.
Welcome to the lockdown-free wildlife segment. As people stay inside their homes due to coronavirus, wild animals have been spotted exploring what was their ancestral home. Animals all over the planet have come out into urban cities. The big cats like puma and jaguars were seen exploring urban cities of Chile and Mexico. Deers had a picnic in England and Japan too. Closer home in Tirupati, people saw sambar deer and wild boars in herds. As industrial activity decreased in the waters, whales also had a whale of a time. A pod of orcas and killer whales was spotted in Canada. So you see, dear Igraspers, when humans retreat, nature claims its own. If you have any sightings, please do mail us on igraasp@gmail.com.